because we make the priesthood sacred, and our view as Catholics, I think, tends to see many things as sacred. The priest can be put on a pedestal as being someone sacred, more sacred perhaps than somebody else. I don't think so, but nevertheless, we sacralize so many things. We do sacralize the priesthood, and with it the priest. And many priests, I think, inadvertently, I shouldn't say that I know it's inadvertent. I think it's inadvertent. I think it's a thing, it's like I say, it's just a risk that goes with the priesthood. We tend to see ourselves that way. It produces a lot of stuff. It produces an inordinate shame and guilt. It produces a greater sense of failure or of not reaching up to the norm. And there's something else that I find another conflict that I have to resolve on a daily basis. Norm. So much of Catholic thought seems to me, as we talk about what is normal, but normal as being up to the norm. To me, as a psychological person, as a person who works in the medical field, what's normal is what occurs with frequency. That's the definition of normal. It's to be expected because it occurs with frequency, not whether it meets any standard or not. Our tendency within the church oftentimes is to view things in moral terms as normal being up to the norm, and in which case many things like addictions are seen as abnormal, but from a scientific viewpoint, they're normal. And this is a bigger thing than just addictions. It's just that whole question of normality. We've just finished Holy Week. I've always loved the prophet Isaiah and the poems of the suffering servant. It was our infirmities that he bore, a man of infirmity. Well, we are all people of infirmity. To be infirm is to be normal, in that sense. So it's a question of how we approach the infirmities of people, not whether or not they should have them. And that applies to so many other things. I remember one time in an AA meeting, hearing a person saying a complaint that could be labeled as "why me?" And the person who was leading the meeting kind of looked unsympathetically and said, "Why not you?" But that is really the answer. Why not you? Everybody carries some infirmities. And as a religious person, as a believer in Jesus Christ, it is he who carried our infirmities, and by his stripes we have been healed. It's the healing message that comes from those poems of Isaiah. But more important at this point, I'm stressing the fact that we need to look at all people and see their infirmities as normal. It is normal to be a person of infirmities.